Hi, my name is Megan Raby. This is the final video assessment for Nu650, the head to toe assessment. This is Jeff. Jeff, do you give consent to be videotaped today?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to do a quick scan of the room. Just have my equipment here. All right. Okay, so we are going to start with the skin. Let's stand this up. All right, we are going to start with the skin assessment. I'm going to be looking at the exposed areas of skin, noticing that they're dry and warm to touch. There's no rashes or open areas that I can notice. Moving on to his scalp, I'm noticing that his hair is slightly thinning, but there's no marks or bumps, bruises, bulges. The contour of his skull is within normal limits and symmetrical. Next, we're going to look at his eyes. I'm going to look into his eyes, noticing that they are also symmetrical, hazel in color, no redness, no discharge noted. We're going to move on to the Snellen test to test for visual acuity. So I will be holding this in real life 6 feet away, but I'm going to have you cover your left eye and read the lowest letters that you can.
LTFPH.
Okay, good. And now switch to the other side.
LTFPH.
Good. Now I'm going to notice his pupils' response to light with my optometroscope here. Optometroscope. And his pupils are reacting to light equally. Next, we're going to do a confrontation test. So Jeff, I'm going to wiggle my 2 fingers and let me know when you see them moving.
No. 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 No.
Good. Now I'm going to do the convergence test, where I'm going to have you just follow my finger. Good. And now I'm going to check for nystagmus. Follow my finger again with your eyes. Good. No nystagmus, no lid lag noted. And now we're going to look again in your eyes, this time looking at the retina and looking for red reflex, which I do see in the right. And I can see it on the left as well. Next, I'm going to be looking at the ears, noticing that the auricles are symmetrical. There's no bumps or lumps noted. I'm going to look inside the ears. Looking at the tympanic membrane, there's no bulging or swelling, no redness or discharge. And the same on this ear, a little bit of wax, but no redness. The tympanic membrane is intact, not bulging, no swelling, no discharge. Now we're going to do the whisper test. Jeff, I'm going to have you cover one ear while I stand 2 feet behind you, and just tell me what word you hear me say.
4.
Good. Now cover the other ear, and what word can you hear me say?
4.
Good. Moving on to the nose. I'm just noticing that the nostrils are also symmetrical. I don't notice any lumps or bumps. No, nothing feels occluded. I'm going to look inside his nose. And there's no redness to his sinuses. No swelling noted. No discharge. I'm going to palpate. And again, don't feel any obstruction. I'm going to feel your sinuses. Any pain when I touch here?
Nope.
Good. Okay. And now I'm going to move on to your neck. Looking at the trachea, it is midline. There's no deviation. Everything is symmetrical there. I'm going to have you point your head down and then extend it back. Look to the left. Look to the right. Good. And to the side and the other side. Good. Next, I'm going to feel your lymph nodes. So I'm noticing, palpating the pre-auricular, the post-auricular, the occipital, the tonsillar, submental, submandibular, superior cervical, posterior cervical, supraclavicular, and then the deep cervical chain. I'm going to check your thyroid. Just going to have you swallow while I feel here. And do you have any pain?
No.
And it feels midline. I don't feel any masses or bumps there. Okay, and next, I'm just going to have you lift up against my hands, check your shoulder strength. Good. Okay. Next, we're going to move on to the anterior posterior thorax. I'm just going to grab my stethoscope. Noticing the rate and rhythm of his breathing. And it's regular. He's not using any accessory muscles. I'm going to palpate for fremitus and crepitus. Any masses, lumps or bumps, and I don't feel anything. Do you have any tenderness when I'm pushing down?
No.
Good. I'm going to feel for the carotid artery and feel for any bruits, which I don't feel. And I'm going to listen to the carotid artery for any thrills. Good. Next, I'm just going to have you turn to the side so I can percuss your chest. Okay. And swing back your legs back around. I'm going to feel your radial artery, your brachial artery, and same on this side, radial artery and brachial artery. Good. I'm going to listen to his lung sound. Sorry, you can turn to the side one more time. Deep breath. Good. Good. And his lungs are clear. One more. One more. No adventition sounds noted. Okay, you can swing back around. Actually, we're going to do, I'm going to listen to his heart, so I'm going to have you lay back a little bit on this pillow a little bit, if you can. I'm going to listen to the aorta first. And then pulmonic, tricuspid, Erb's point, followed by mitral, and I can hear S1, S2, regular rate, and no murmurs. Okay, you can sit up. Next, we're going to look at the upper extremities, starting with the nail beds, noticing that there's no clubbing, no cyanosis. I'm going to have you extend your fingers and then bring them in, and then spread them out and try to bring them in like that. Good. Next, I'm going to have you, keep them together and push against my fingers. Good. And then pull them in. Good. All right. And then we're going to check grip strength. So squeeze my hands. Okay, good. And then we're going to check your wrist strength. So make 2 fists and then push up against my hands. Good. Down against my hands. Good. We're going to check the strength of your elbows. So I'm going to have you pull towards you, to pull my hands towards you, good, and push against me, good. And pull this hand towards you, good, and push against, good. And next I'm going to look at your shoulders and lift up against my hands, good. Now you're going to lift your arms straight in front of you, good, and put them behind you. Lift them up behind you, I mean. Good, and out to the side. Good, and then you're going to reach back with one arm like you're brushing your hair, good, and do that with the other. Good. And then reach across your body with one and across your body with the other. Good. Now we're just going to go back to your fingers. I'm going to have you tap your fingers together one by one. Good. Okay, moving on to the abdomen. I'm going to have you lay back down again. First, I'm going to inspect the abdomen, looking for any bulges, masses, or scarring, which I don't notice. And then I'm going to auscultate all 4 quadrants And I can hear normal bowel sounds. I'm going to lightly palpate, feeling for any bulges or masses, which I do not. I'm going to palpate the aorta, which seems to be less than 2 centimeters. And now I'm going to deeply palpate to feel for the liver, so I'm going to have you take a deep breath in and exhale. And I can feel the liver's edge here. And then I'm going to feel for your kidney. So I'm going to have you do the same thing. I'm going to have you take a deep breath in and exhale, and palpating the kidney over here. Next, I'm going to listen to the different arteries. Listening to the aorta, the femoral, and the iliac artery. And lastly, I'm going to listen for, I'm going to feel for any CVA tenderness. So I'm going to have you sit up and scoot back a little bit so you're in the camera. Any pain when I hit there?
No.
Any pain when I hit there?
No.
Okay, good. Next, we're going to inspect the spine and lower extremities. So I'm just going to have you keep sitting here like this. I'm going to have you lean forward at the waist, inspecting your spine. I feel normal curvature. And then I'm going to look at your lower extremity. So I think I'm going to have you sit in this taller chair for this. All right, looking at his lower extremities, there's no edema, there's no swelling, they're warm to touch, there's no open areas. Gonna have you push up against my hand, good, and push up against my hand, good. And actually I'm gonna have you lay down, that was good, thank you. I'm gonna have you lay down so we can check your hips. All right, so I'm going to have you pull your knees up against your chest. Yep, and then I'm going to have you can put one leg down. I'm going to have you extend this knee forward. Good. And can you internally rotate it? I can't get this up. I'm going to have you turn it inward towards your body. Good. And then outward, away from your body. Good. And then bring it back down. Okay. Same thing with this, up against your chin. Yep. And then turn your foot inward. Yeah, good, and outward. Good. Okay, and next I'm going to check your feet. So I'm going to have you, just so I can get you on camera, can you sit up so I can put your feet over here? Okay, I'm going to have you push up against my hand. Good. And down against my hand. Good. And then up against my hand. Good. And down against my hand. Good. And next we're going to, I'm going to have you just stand and put your heel to the opposite shin. Good. Okay, good. Now we're going to check your coordination. So we're going to, I'm going to have you walk across the room. I'll move this chair. If you could just walk towards the camera, heel to toe. Good. And now Romberg test, which is just, you're going to stand here with your feet hip width apart, close your eyes, and put your hands out in front of you. Good. And now we're going to do the pronator drift test, so you can open your eyes. This time I'm going to have you, when you close your eyes, your arms will be out in front of you and you'll have palms to the ceiling. And I'm going to notice if your hands drift at all. So you can close your eyes, yep, arms straight out in front of you. And I'm just noticing to see if he has any drifting to either one of his hands, which he does not. So next we're going to do muscle strength. I'm going to have you sit back down in this chair here. You can pull over here. And I'm going to have you push up against my hands. Good. And then push down. Good. Good. And same thing with your feet. I'm going to have you push up against. Yep. And then push down like a gas pedal. Good. We're going to check reflexes next. So I'm going to check a biceps reflex. I'm going to have you relax your arm. Good. Good. And triceps reflex. Good. and brachioradialis reflex. Okay, try to get on camera here. And knee jerk reflex. And Achilles reflex. Okay. Last, we're going to do some sensory testing. So I'm going to do some light touches on your arms, and you just let me know when you can feel them, okay?
Yep. 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 Yep.
Okay. Next is the stereogynous test. So I'm going to have you close your eyes, open your hand, and I just want you to identify what I put in your palm without looking at it.
Quarter.
Okay, very good. I'm going to put something else in your hand, and you're going to tell me if it's the same object or a different object.
Different.
Good. It was a penny. Next is the graphesthesia test. So I'm going to draw something in the palm of your hand with your eyes closed, and you tell me what letter or number I draw.
4.
Good. I'm going to do it over here too.
3.
Good. Next is the 2-point identification test. So I'm going to have you tell me if you feel 1 point or 2 when I touch, okay?
1. 1. 2. 1. 1. 2.
Good. Next, I'm going to do the point localization test. So I'm going to touch you again, and you just tell me where I'm touching you.
My thumb. Shoulder. Elbow. Elbow. Shoulder.
Good. And then the extinction test. So tell me which shoulder I'm touching with your eyes when you have your eyes closed, okay?
Right. Left. Left. Right. Both.
Good. All right, and that concludes our head-to-toe assessment. Thank you very much. Thank you.